Yes, this is I'm just recording my trip to Santiago de Compostela in the holy year of 1965. Myself and a group of two friends of mine from Pamplona, that's from the north of Spain, we decided to go to Santiago, so we went to the town of Valcarlos, which was the beginning of the trip, and it was a village, a small town. We stayed overnight in Valcarlos, and the next day we walked to Espinal, the first town, and then to Pamplona. But on the way we went to Roncesvalles, famous Roncesvalles, who was famous for the big battle with Charmaine and Roland. There we stood, that was our first part of the trip. It was a very historical town, and there was a big battle there that took place at the time of the Moorish invasion of Spain. We went to Pamplona. We stayed 2 nights there, and then continued on to Puente de la Arena. This route that we took was the oldest one. The oldest is the original route that the pilgrims used back in the 12th century, at the beginning of the pilgrimages to St. James. And we went to famous cities of Puente de la Arena and then Estella, and then after we left Estella, at the point of the road, we met 2 other pilgrims coming from Jaca, from Catalonia, and we all met up together, the 5 of us, and we walked together, and that was the trip, walking from there. And then as we went through each stop, say Valcarlos and all these little towns, we had a little our special passport for the pilgrims, and that's this one here, and we had to get a stamp on each those towns that were marked on my little passport. It's called and we had to go and just to prove that we had gone through that frontier. So the first one was Valcarlos, of course, Fomista and Astorga, and we've got the famous cities Logroño, Santa Domingo de Calzada, and Burgos, the famous city of Burgos, a very city in Old Castile, which was famous for El Cid Campeador, and Fomista, León, Astorga, Ponferrada, and the monastery of Samos, and Santiago itself. And the whole trip took us nearly 4 weeks. That's 28 days. We had to allow for rests in between, and we stayed in monasteries and convents on the way, and it was in the month of September, so there wasn't so many pilgrims, because actually the pilgrims start to go through through Spain in the month of July to arrive at Santiago de Compostela on the feast of St. James the Apostle. But we did ours in just 1 month afterwards, June, July. It was July, August. We started in August and ended in September. It's a trip that I'll never forget. It was a beautiful trip. We gained a lot of graces from this. But after those 28 days, we arrived in Santiago, and so when we arrived in Santiago, the mother and father of the 2 young boys from Catalonia had arranged for an interview with the Cardinal Quiroga, who was the primate of all Spain at the time. He had just arrived back from Vatican II at that time, and this is just before all the changes came in the Mass, all the changes that came, and we were ushered up into his office, and we had a photograph taken with him. Okay. So at the end of the trip, we received a medal to show of Santiago. This is the original medal I received in 1965. The St. James on the front there, and that was the Holy Year 60. And it's treated exactly the same as they have a holy door there at the Basilica, and the and the door is open especially for that year. It always happens when the Feast of St. James falls on a Sunday. That's all.